So CK beat lane with the Treant beat lane with the Skyret Mage, he crushes it. So let's say it would be actually quite nice to lane the CK against the Alchemist. He has a solid amount of armor. He can actually survive the harass there. So I'm okay with it. I would put it in the offlane just because of the Jakiro and the Puck. These heroes deal really well with Delusion. So later on down the line, the CK isn't gonna be the heavy hitter that he could be in some of the games. So I would like to see this as an offlane hero and as a setup for the Skyret Mage Mystic Flare. So I'm liking this. Now, when we go back to the mid lane matchup, actually they went for a Puck. I think the Puck pick is pretty much a hero. You wanted a hero that can survive the mid lane against the Lina and push out with that protecting the tower for as long as possible so that the Alk can farm. So the Puck kind of hits all of that criteria despite not really being a good hero against the Lina herself.
Yeah, Puck, this somewhat early game mid hero to play around. You could somewhat tempo control or adjust the pace. You could put it that way, I guess. Like Puck is the hero that will enable you to make all these things happen inside the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes even. So if Puck has a hard game, you might still have someone to come back as reassurance, and Alchemist hits the timing at around... Is the Alch timing still about like 22, 24 minutes, roughly? Something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it is.
So it kind of, you got to follow up for when Puck has a weak moment, Alchemist kicks in, and now you've got this Brewmaster to support things together. So I kind of like how the clock goes together for X3.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think we might be seeing a Radiance Manta Alchemist in this game, which is something that we haven't seen for a very long time, but I think that's the way to go. As you said, between the 22 and 24 minutes, pretty much Alchemist timing is when he gets his third item. So, you know, first you get your farming item, Battle Fury. Sometimes people go for an armlet, but very rarely Maelstrom, Radiant, something along those lines. Yeah, you get one more item, and then you get that third one. So your pretty much timing is the same as an anti-mage, just you get there a bit faster. And that's when you start crushing everyone. You're unkillable, and you do massive amounts of damage. So yeah, it can be even before that minute mark, but that is like the last timing, 22 to 24, is when if you don't have your third item, you are in trouble.
We are going to see the Bloodseeker ban come out from PuckChamp. And I guess with all the lockdown that they have, like Coil into Bloodright, the Rupture is pretty okay versus the CK especially, because CK does have Reality Rift for movement, and CK is a melee hero, has to move a lot in fights, so Rupture does hurt. But most importantly, the Coil combo, which is really good. Plus, they have the acid spray from Alchemist, and you know, Bloodseeker does get that nice amplification from minus armor as he starts to deal more percentage-based damage as well later on top of the damage that he deals anyway. So smart bans. PL faces Void. Yeah, these all kind of make sense. PL, they don't really have a tool against it. Faces Void would screw up already 3 of X3's heroes, the Alk, Jakiro, Puck, especially when Alk's ulti is on a downtime. Faces Void can just blow him up. Good smart bans from both sides.
So PuckChamp are banning carries. There is no something that we don't. In my mind, this is a position 1 Alchemist, 2 Puck, and 3 Brewmaster. Of course, it could be a Brewmaster in the support role. It could be... I'd rather not see a support Alchemist if I need to see a Alchemist that's not a position 1, just to put it in the offlane so that he's giving out Ag Scepters. But yeah, I think X3, they've already shown their cores. The Lifestealer comes out. This is a hero that is untouched in this game. Literally, he can destroy everyone on the side of X3. So that's why PuckChamp were banning those heroes, because X3 might be needing a Lifestealer counter, and this might be enough to actually dissuade you from playing the Alchemist in the core role.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
Lifestealer into the Alk Brew. Pretty decent pickup here. One thing that I'm kind of looking at is, going back to the Alchemist, is his 2 hero picks, both wins. They've been played by Kirtich, and we had one from Igor. That was from Cybercats. Yeah, Cybercats were the ones who played it. So we're not going to see an Alk carry. We're going to see a TB carry come out for Nesphere. It's a support Alchemist for Narink. So that is not a core Alchemist that we've been talking about all this time. X3, positively surprising us once again with the draft here, Harry.
Yeah, they definitely are. Okay, so yeah, the Berserk potion is pretty solid. If he would be able to farm the Ags for the Brewmaster, which is something I highly doubt, would be amazing. But yeah, a position for Alchemist. So what does he bring to the table? I guess with the Cinder Brew and the Acid Spray, you can ignite the Lifestealer. Is it spell damage that ignites it or magical? I'm not sure, so we're gonna check that.
I think that's a bit iffy for me as well, because it feels like sometimes it's both, and sometimes it feels like it's just the other.
Spell damage. Okay, so it's not magic damage. So I guess you can ignite the Lifestealer. Lifestealer on his own like doesn't have really high armor in lane. So there is a chance that the Alchemist and the Brewmaster can actually crush that lane. You know, Treant also has 1 armor. Lifestealer has a bit more than that, but he's still like not the strongest armor hero. The Terrorblade is a great counter to every single one of the heroes of PuckChamp. He naturally builds into a Manta, and he does heavy physical damage. Plus, he has a lot of armor. So Lina right clicks, Chaos Knight right clicks, Lifestealer can't do anything. The Treant Protector ulti, you don't care about it. I'm liking this last pick from X3. The only thing I'm afraid of is how the Alchemist is going to work, but when you look at it, I think they actually have a pretty decent chance here on the side of X3. The problem I see with their lineup is how do you get kills? It's usually baiting in the enemies and then turning things around with the coil. And if PuckChamp understand that, they can spread the map the way they want and just strike when the opportunity presents itself. Right. So that's the only thing I'm afraid for X3, but they've shown they know how to slow down the game. So I'm going to go with them once again.
Does definitely feel like it. They've got that intuition with their draft, and I just did a little bit of maths. I added up the Demon Zeal shard from the TB plus the Berserk potion from the Alchemist. So if TB is in melee form with Demon Zeal and the Berserk potion, he gets 150 plus attack speed. He also gets plus 50 movement speed and plus 40 HP regen. So if you think about all of that added up together, TB can fight easily without the Metamorph. But let's see how this level 1 smoke comes out as they're going to be walking right towards each other's. We've got the path played onto 2. Jakiro LSA coming out as well. Doesn't really connect as well as SMN's already down. But look at PuckChamp taking a decent amount of damage here. Though X3 are a bit fearful for what happens as they don't have more abilities to give. And PuckChamp, they will take first blood without losing a soul. They are here to take down these trees away from Dakalis, though, as Shurkarat with a Quelling Blade, Nesfir with his own Quelling Blade, and the Rank is here with his boots to provide the vision and the movement speed for his team. So I will cut down all the trees from this bottom lane, but PuckChamp, they spill first blood.
X3 weren't expecting PuckChamp there. You could see that Natty Narwhal wasn't there. If he was, I think it's actually X3 that get the first blood, or at least Natty Narwhal finishes off the Treant Protector with his orb. So a bit of a I'd say misplay there from X3, not bringing in all of their 5 heroes, but you never know. We've seen so many of these smokes to protect the trees, or smokes to get the trees down in the Eastern European region ever since Tour 1 T-Panda. I think it was the first game that we casted that we saw a move like that, so it has been kind of the staple thing. So that's why I'm looking at Natty Narwhal as being the one that made a slight misplay there, not being there to assist his team, because it would have been a bit different if the puck just dished out just a bit damage.
It was Malik who brought up the first blood, so getting that tiny bit of an advantage for himself. Looks like he's already got the brace already. He's going to be bringing up the stick to the lane, knowing this Jakiro is going to be spamming a lot of abilities. He's got 3 mangoes. He's ready to dish out a lot of fire and a lot of cold onto Astral and Malik. We're both just going to be living off of the firepower of their own spells to poke this TB. Chaos Strike won't do a great deal against this Terrorblade, who already has 9 armor at level 1. But will definitely help out when they want to complete the Chaos Bolt into the company. Look at this guy just take a pummeling. He's already down to 150 HP on Nesfir. And they have reasonably small cooldowns as well on both of these 2 heroes in PuckChamp.
They definitely do, and I think Malik getting the first blood was the best one for PuckChamp. Lina?
Yep, looking at the same here. Natty Narwhal, though, gets the courier, but he gets hit by the LSA. If Fairy Fire used to keep him up a little bit longer. Can he get the illusory orb to connect onto Young G? Puck, Lina has to stay very careful of her positioning. There's an illusory orb coming right her way. Fairy Fire will be used as the creep wave also blocks her. Young G really feeling the pressure. Naughty Narwhal diving under the tower, and that's gonna be Lina surviving Young G with 16 HP. Lina survives. Puck overcommits.
He got the bottle at that point, and between every one of Puck hits, he was bottling just a little bit up. That is what made the difference. That was actually a cool play attempted by the Puck, you know. But yeah, a bit of a problem now, because Puck is the one that needs to make plays for X3. I think, you know, PuckChamp. Oh, just a second. Treant on the bot.
Just in time for the little hack there as Sugar Rat takes down Dekalis. But yeah, I agree with you. Puck needs to be the playmaker in this game. And already giving away the first kill in this mid matchup for the Lina upsets the balance completely for him.
No, when I said I kind of saw CK as the perfect one for the first blood. You want to slow down the Terrorblade because X3 will be needing him to be there to defend towers or potentially push towers. They're really bad in that constant damage output. But before we finish that thought, again, we're gonna have some action, and it's gonna end up in no one dying but everyone being a bit bruised. But
Yep.
you know, then I saw the Lina almost die in the mid lane, and I'm like, if this happens, then it was better if Lina had gotten that first blood and made sure that that the Puck doesn't get off to a good start. But still, I think everything worked out perfectly for PuckChamp. They got a kill on the Puck, they got the first blood on the CK. Pressuring the Terrorblade is gonna be a big deal in this game, especially during the laning phase. You don't want a strong Terrorblade playing like a No-Tail used to play when he was a carry in OG, just TPing to the enemy safe lane and taking your tower, being able to take fights early. So you don't want that to happen, and you know, your CK getting the first blood, it's a really good way to prevent it, because early bracers, magic wand, belt of strength, you could see how much damage he was actually able to tank through.
Waiting for our players to come back on the server. I was highlighting a comment here in our lovely all chat. Dota 2 cool game.
Once again,
It is the name of the game that we play. 3 minutes in. Triple CS lead in favor of PuckChamp for the moment. Starting off their laning stage invigorated from game number 1.
Started really well for PuckChamp. We can see that all of their cores are farming well. The Lina and the CK already have a kill to their name, and everyone is kind of suffering.
Now I crashed.
You crashed? Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of a radio here. So the call is going back to the lane, guys, and on the top lane, Astral is low, but there is no chance for them to go in without the meta being ready. And very, very interesting things happening on the map. No one is dying, but you have to believe me, guys, because there's just so much action. Just kidding. No one is literally touching anyone here. And Panda, the only thing we're seeing is just a couple of rotations towards the water runes.
I was bringing us on camera for a split second, but at that same time it happened. I went on the black screen. We actually load back into the game. So, yep, the score is still 2-1, but TV in trouble in the top lane. Down to 150 HP. Malik, but Astrals will want to fall first. Malik, he's got mangoes ready. Does he commit to this? Feels like he does not want to give his life away for a cause that is probably not going to be worth it. So, X3 will get a kill in this top lane.
No, this is pretty much, I felt like, oh, just a second, top lane, Sphere again in trouble.
Yet. Yep, it's not over yet, but like I said, Chaos Strike just doesn't give enough damage to take down this heavily armored TB. SMN might be a good target, though, as the Skywrath also shows up. Malik is being burnt up by the dot damage, and Illusion also showing up, but it's not going to be enough to kill either of these heroes. They both live. So good poke going back and forth, but Astral has a moment here for a bit of bullying, because this Skywrath showing up in the lane with full mana, full HP, TB and Jakiro, beware.
You can see that SMN is doing his best to try to soak up all the damage. Jakiro is a very high HP hero compared to the TB. has so much of it, so he's just trying to eat up everything. You can see that he's acting like a carry while the TB is pushing because he can't do much. The biggest problem though here for X3 is that Krillat on the bottom lane has already gotten the phase boot. So we talked about some armor issues there with the acid spray being thrown out. Well, that doesn't work any longer for the lifestealer, so Krillat can stay here alone, and I just don't see a rotation that can make the lifestealer move. So X3 in the next, I'd say 7-8 minutes, it's gonna be almost impossible for them to make any moves around the map.
Yeah, especially with the Puck already dying once, it kind of hinders their capability to. They need this power rune. Young G already loading up the LSA stun, but the action rune is going to be there, but it's going to be a bit late. But there we go, Laguna Blade will be taking down the Rink. And Natty Narwhal with the illusory orb back to safety on the high ground. Lina gets a second kill. Young G up to 201 now. 38 last hits, 10 denies. He is off to a fantastic start.
Top lane, Malik.
Gets some stuff done. It feels more like SMN in trouble. Pretty good damage dealt, though.
Mid lane.
Oh, more action, eh? Doesn't look like they're getting this one for now. Raindrops will pop. Oh! Couldn't get the right click out on time. DeCollis does get stunned up by Narink. And still following with the lead seat. Oh, he's actually seeing the puck where she's going. But can this puck get out, though? Getting bottle charges. Still one more to go. DeCollis making a very crucial move there to keep the Lina alive. And Puck still can't score that kill in mid. Like, Natty Narwhal's just banging his head on a wall. Like, why doesn't this Lina die already? Now in the top lane, Sphere getting grabbed up. And that is going to be the end of the tail for the TB. And Young G's going to be here freshly from the spawn. Has a Laguna Blade, sees the Jakiro, and there we go. Laguna Blade, a right click to the face. That will deal him off. Malik will die to the dot damage off of the Jakiro. But Lina grabs a kill, and they killed the TB, so the damage has already been done.
Everything that could have gone bad for X3 in this game has gone bad. I am just not sure if they're even gonna get a chance to play the game. Everyone is gonna be looking at Natty Narwhal to do the damage, and maybe Sugarut to make some plays with the Primal Split, but it's definitely not gonna be easy because you are lacking damage. All of these heroes on the side of PuckChamp are hard to kill, and even the ones that aren't are very hard to get to. Plus, the Colossus is gonna be helping with the living armor. So X3 is gonna have so much trouble bringing anyone down. I think there's gonna be so much attempt for them to overextend on the Lina, and that is somewhere where PuckChamp is probably gonna be ready to respond every single time.
First 8 minutes of play, triple net worth lead for PuckChamp, so they have now finally found their pace, I believe. The first time during the course of this series that they find themselves ahead of their opponents. Game 1, they had to play from behind since, well, minute 2, basically. Now X3 are the ones who have to play on the back foot, and it is a TB in their hands. Is it really the fact that the TB in East Europe, because I looked at the numbers from, like, when we were playing in Tour 1, Division 1 TB had very low win rate. Division 2 TB had very high win rate, and then in the Tour 2 playoffs, TB's win percentage was actually pretty low. Now we already have one TB loss under their belt, so we're going to see a second one coming up right after. I mean, it's too early to say, but just kind of thinking about the maths here, Harry.
Yeah, you know what I mentioned earlier. There's a lot of mid players in Eastern Europe, good ones, because they all watched No One crush everyone in the mid lane. Well, just like that, one of Ramses' best heroes was the TB. So you are, of course, gonna have everyone know exactly how you play this Terrorblade, so they know how exactly you play against it. And Astral?
Yeah, that's
he didn't like that.
It was just scouting out. Maybe I could find a hero here, but without the help of his CK, that's a pretty easy pickoff for SMN and for Nesphere. These are kills that TB will open, like, with open arms, just accept. Like, you want to give me more gold? I'll take it. Like, you guys shut me down in the lane, and now you're giving me kills? Sure. I'll take that.
Good move from X3.
Oh, can they catch the Lina? Silence isn't there, but the coil is. LSA stunned, will be dodged, coil broken. Lina found dead. As Natty Narwhal finishes him off with the right clicks. They finally got him. It took quite some time, but they got him.
X3 are playing some nice Dota. With everything gone wrong, bottom lane, the CK getting the first blood, crushing the top lane, the Lina versus the Puck just getting that bottle at a really really tough timing. You know, the one lane where you... Oh.
Yeah, this thing up and sugar up. Yeah, go on.
The bottom where you had two melee heroes against the lifestealer Treant, it was hard. You got a kill on the Treant, but that's about it. You know, losing all 3 lanes makes you almost incapable of playing Dota. But just those small mistakes that PuckChamp are making are allowing X3 to do something about it. And I'm liking that they actually have some responses. They are getting kills here and there. And with every coil, we're going to be seeing them attempting to make a move. They need to get a few of those early kills. Puck needs a early Witchblade, or without it, no one on the side of PuckChamp will be dying, especially not the cores.
What kind of item build would you like to see in this Lifestealer in this game when you look at Kurlat? Because the changes to the Aghanims, disarming the TB, for example, would you find this item worth enough?
Maybe later on, but depends what his team is gonna tell him. If he thinks that he cannot deal with the Terrorblade, he's gonna go for a Maelstrom. If he thinks that the Terrorblade is going to be dealt with, he's going to go for a Deso. But the most standard build for a Lifestealer, let's say, would be if you think you have enough damage, and PuckChamp do, you go for a Sange into a Scotty. And then you just start running towards the enemies. You can't die. Top lane.
Yep, setting up on Malik. He's a tanky CK. Overgrowth is there. Puck in a bit of trouble. Stun's going to be following up as well. Just a bit more damage needed. But the Illusory Orb will allow Natty Narwhal to escape. Dream Protector in trouble. Going to get hit by the stun. It lands on Astral as well. And Sky is going to be caught in the Ice Path. Nesphere, though, he's got the Sunder, but he won't be able to. Just getting stun locked completely. Nesphere down. And X3... they will lose their Terrorblade in the process. They killed 2 supports, but you lost your carry.
Good thing for X3 that they didn't use the Primal Split. But PuckChamp are getting everything done. This was 3 heroes. You give away 2 supports for the carry. You don't really care about it. While the Lina and the Lifestealer, these are very, very greedy heroes. And there's the answer. The Lifestealer is going to go for a Maelstrom and probably still going to go for a Skadi after that one. I think that's the correct kill build or item build here for the Lifestealer. But look at this, you're making plays on the top lane. They're not even going perfectly for you, and the Lifestealer is taking your tower. There needs to be 4 staffs on the side of X3. Someone needs to save the TB from the Mystic Flare. You just cannot die to that.
Yeah, the fear of the Mystic Flare or getting hit by the coil, especially later on in the game when you know it's going to be piercing BKBs. 4 staff is a good item, but might just force out the stun. So that's something that the TB has to be cautious of. 4 staff's a good item, but I think you would just rather use it on other heroes as well, because you do have a big HP pool on this TB. His HP scaling and the sustain items he usually builds turns this guy easily into like a 3 to 4k HP beast. And we'll see. 4 staff is still pretty good against the Mystic Flare and any other hero, though. And Rink, though, gonna turn around, popping his ulti and getting the catch onto Malik. Follow-up stun with the Ice Path, and CK, he's overstepped his welcome on the side of the dire map, as X3 will get the CK down, death number 2, and they've caught the Sky as well in the air with the Cyclone. So that's going to be death number 2. Astral surrounded by Bruling, surrounded by a big Goblin and an Ogre.
You know, it's very rare to see Alchemist is outplaying the opponents. Like, how is he outplaying them? Well, and Rink is doing it. What happened there is the Chaos Bolt, he dodged it with the Chemical Rage. There's that slight time where you're actually gonna disjoint it, and now you could see him hide behind the trees, just charging up the Unstable Concoction so that he will not get silenced up by the Skyrat Mage. So really nice positioning and spell usage coming out from Rink. He did everything perfect there, and that's the reason why they defended that tower. If the Alchemist died immediately, it would have just been the Primal Split for nothing, most likely. But
very
they're still gonna go in.
The Lifestealer playing very aggressively, but they're all under a ward, and Astral's a much easier kill. I'll take this guy. Malik tries to get the catch on Natty Narwhal. They won't actually even kill the Skywrath. Curious.
He's drunk though. Not enough.
Yeah, he's drunk, but not drunk enough. I guess you can put it that way too. Krilla getting comboed.
Lifestealer?
Oh, beautiful setup from X3. Huge kill. And maybe even more.
Can go for more.
Skyrock getting popped as well in the coil. Natty Narwhal just needs the illusory orb to connect. That's all he needs. And no, but he gets the right click off on time. And there's the follow-up. They will get the kill on
Malik?
as the Witchblade tick will come through. And Malik also shows up, but this CK has to just gallop away. Nesphere has popped his Metamorph and he's ready to take this tower down. Lifestealer has been playing very aggressively for the last half a minute and just completely out of position.
And no reason to do so. The side of X3 can't make plays. You remember during the draft, you have to use your Terrorblade to force enemies into a place where he can actually do damage. And that is what happened. But I think even without the TB, the Lifestealer would have died, but the tower wouldn't have. So Nesphere being part of that engagement is going to be a big deal. They took down the enemy mid tower, and X3, their mid tower is still alive, which means next time PuckChamp want to go in, they could be chased even further and losing even more heroes. That's why they're going to go for a smoke. But they're not playing the map. They're just, okay guys, we need the mid lane tower, and they're coming there with numbers instead of forcing TPs on the other part of the map and then storming down mid. It's an easy move, especially when your enemies, they don't have a play to make. They use coil, okay, you got one kill, what now? There's nothing left in the tank. So let's see PuckChamp if they're gonna make anything happen, but still, it's a smoke. Let's go and kill someone. I don't feel like they have an idea of what they actually want to accomplish with this one, and with it, if they don't get the kill, it's just gonna be a disaster.
It definitely is. Even if the Lifestealer is up ahead and farm, it doesn't mean everything is going in the way of PuckChamp. Phantasm being used as well. Ice Path not quite close enough to catch Astral. And this was the blink reveal on the CK. Not sure if they actually saw the Chaos Knight. If they did, then that would have been a blink reveal for X3, and they know that he's probably going for it anyway. Alchemist has also got his blink dagger up in just 10 gold.
Illusion.
That's gonna allow X3 to actually have something to make a play with, something they didn't have up until now. So it's gonna be much easier for them to play. They survived the worst.
What a great timing as well, because you got the blink on Alk, but you have the Ags on this Brewmaster right now. This is such a good timing for X3. 17 minutes in. Got the Lifestealer farming on the dire side of the map. Natty Narwhal is here to greet him. Instant silence into the stun. There's no Mystic Flare being used yet. They know the Alchemist is bulky. And this Lifestealer will walk out. Gets the Armlet toggle out as well, so he's feeling fairly healthy with it too. They might go on Sugar out in mid. He's very low. He's got 600 HP. And Young G is setting up for it.
Just 2 minutes ago, this mid outpush from Sugarat wouldn't be possible, just because X3 didn't have any ways to make plays, so they didn't have any ways to force out some rotations from the enemies. Now with the blink on the Alk, they force out something on the top lane. They see there are 3 heroes, and suddenly Sugarat feels confident enough to go forward. This Lina, we know that it's a really greedy hero. Young G finally gets his BKB, and you don't want to write PuckChamp off. They're just gonna be hitting their timings. The problem is that during the time where X3 couldn't do anything, they gave them something, so they're just not gonna be as strong enough as they would have been. So now we're actually gonna see PuckChamp at full force with the Lina BKB.
Lina BKB is coming out in the nice timing as well, because X3 with all those blink stuns, etc. If you just pop your BKB off on time, you'll be able to keep yourself still in the game and avoid another unnecessary death, especially that item being so strong in it. They are smoking right behind her, and Sugarrat already pops the smoke off the Kalas. Astral, Malik, they're all heading straight towards the middle as they find Nesphere, but they cannot get the stun connection because they can't find the right TB on time. And Alchemist also ends up stunning himself. Malik will draw in the Brewmaster, but Brew with a fresh Aghanim's, he's ready to fight, ready to take it all the way. But look at the Kalas! 4-man overgrowth in the back lines, but where's your damage follow-up? It's not there. Sugarat is still chasing Malik and almost done with the CK. Silence onto the Puck. Mystic Flare's gonna be there as well, but he gets pulled down, but they will take down Natty Narwhal anyway. BKB popped on the Lina as well. Malik will finally be taken down, and Sugarat 35 seconds until he has another Aghanim's ulti available. So it's gonna be 1-for-1 mid for an off lane. He's still moving around in the area. TB with that Metamorph wants to get something done, and another stun from Enrique will actually catch the Lifestealer. And Kurlat will take about half of his HP, but it does seem like this fight is coming to a close. CK is soon going to be up again.
That was okay for PuckChamp, but still, X3, they might be 2k gold behind, but the thing is, these are still massive timings for PuckChamp. The Lina BKB, you know, those are things that should have given you clean fights without any chance of X3 retaliating. So right now, I think PuckChamp would feel confident if they had like 4,000 gold lead at this point, but just such a slight difference between the TB and the Lifestealer. At some point, the TB just crushes this hero. There is actually no contest if the Lifestealer like doesn't have an item in front of the TB. So those timings from PuckChamp they're starting to fall off, and they've just gotten to them. So it's a question, how are they going to use with this mid lane tower being down? They have the CK, they have the Skyret Mage. We need to be looking at these two to make plays and actually make X3 afraid. That is what your goal is. You're probably not going to be getting a kill on the Terrorblade. Nesphere needs to make a big mistake for that to happen.
PuckChamp has that shock and awe factor with the CK Blink Stun into the Mystic Flare, where you can quickly delete one hero from the game. And then you have yourself the advantage of, do we want to press the attack? Do we want to keep on going? Or do we reset after the kill, reposition, maybe smoke? Do we want to split around the map? Because we have 5, you only have 4 heroes. So I agree. It has to be Astral and Malik who make these plays for PuckChamp, because it puts X3, it kind of pushes them on their edge. Like you're not standing on your 2 feet. You're no longer in balance as that happens. So the only downside is you got to play against a Jakiro, semi-tanky. TB builds into a lot of HP. Brewmaster, same thing. Alchemist, well, guess you could say same thing as well. He is a strength hero after all. And then you have Puck, who's just a very nimble hero to catch, even though if you get the stun and you find that that's okay. But is your Mystic Flare damage gonna be enough?
You know, for a Jakiro, yes. For a Terrorblade right now, if he gets stunned up, he will die.
Not for long.
Brewmaster is the one, yeah. Not for long. That is the right way to put it. Also, PuckChamp, if they want to make sure that the CK and the Skyret Mage are getting those kills, they need to split up the map properly and push out the waves. And they're just gonna walk into Roche. You're playing against the split, against the Jakiro. This is not a place to be.
Heavy damage already inside the pit. They're gonna have to use the Infest onto Ducalis and get the heck out of that Roche pit. Already down to 3,700 HP, so below halfway. Smoke up from X3, trying to reposition on the river, and Narink is going in again, and this might be the call to go. Shurgarat ready with the Primal Split, gets stunned up first, but they get the combo. The Mystic Flare is going to be there, the Coil's going to be connecting off the lean as well. The Overgrowth is going to be there too. They're going to be taking down Shurgarat, and now Young G being chased away. Nesphere still has to wait 26 seconds until that Metamorph is going to be up. Alchemist trying to make a run for it, gets stunned onto 2. Malik will be coming up the buyback on the CK, and moments pause as Narwhal goes back in and looks for the kill. Will get one, but will be able to get out because Krylak with the Lifestealer hits so damn hard and has the chance to get out with the Illusory Orb, and CK just bought back for this, and that's only round 1. We're definitely going to get a round 2 right after. SMN in the river, he's going to reset. They're going to wait for the Brewmaster to come back up, and they will have the advantage on X3's side. Metamorph is up, and Brew soon up with Primal Split.
Shurgarat there was like, guys, it's the PuckChamp are feeling bad. They were in Division 1 and we're just crushing them. Let me go in and die so they at least have some kind of a chance. Because if he gets the Brew Split off there, PuckChamp get completely obliterated. So I'm not really sure what he was trying to do, use the Thunderclap. If he just used the Primal Split and ran in, PuckChamp would get destroyed in that fight. But even so, even the way that it went, perfect for PuckChamp, you could say. They are gonna lose the fight, they're gonna lose Roche, and everything going the way of X3. PuckChamp just isn't using their heroes to split the map. You have the Travels on the Lina, you have the Treant Protector, you can hide in the trees, just push out the waves, and then you catch out people with the CK and the Skyret. They are forcing out team fights, and they have no team fight heroes apart from the Treant Protector.
That being said, the 22-minute marker broken now as the TB is making good progress towards the Scotty. Game 1, TB was finishing Scotty when they were about to hold their high ground. This game is completely different in case of the TB, as you've got tier 2s in every single lane. You have taken Roshan, and you have a second life on this Terrorblade.
that allows you, the next 5 minutes, it's for farming here for X3. The rest of the team is going to be making moves only pretty much slightly over the river, just so that you know where PuckChamp is. You don't want to be caught off guard. So now that split push potential for PuckChamp, it's going to be limited a bit because you're afraid of the aggressive moves considering the enemies have the Aegis. But at least I like what they're doing. They're split pushing the bottom lane and keeping the CK and the Skyrat Mage on top. If they had done this pretty much, or started doing this 10 minutes ago, this would have looked like a completely different game for them.
It's a 2000 HP Brewmaster that you're going to have to nuke down, so it's not going to work out anymore for the CK and the Skyrat. So this is exactly what we went through a couple minutes ago, that this combo is just not going to work out anymore. Yep, Aegis has been torn. Lina able to use that full combo to unleash hell on the TB. So farming with low HP. Wasn't suspecting the Lina to be there. That's a good pick. You know, you burnt the Aegis, but you're still okay as X3. Not the biggest loss. You want to farm anyway on this Terrorblade. Astral.
It is still gonna be a big thing. You know, you could have been aggressive earlier. Now you can't do that any longer. And PuckChamp, I think they're finally aware of just how they should play their lineup. So that is quite nice. You know, you're just gonna be opening up more and more situations for you because PuckChamp, make no mistake, these guys, they know how to play Dota, they know how to use spells. It seems like they're just a little bit phased with all that has happened to them in the past DPC tour. So just if they cool down their heads, I think they still have a pretty good shot in this game too.
25 minutes of action in game number 2. Much more even between the two teams. Verlat is getting a lot of farm on this Lifestealer, working towards his Basher up soon. Has an AC. Armlet Maelstrom. Decent amount of damage for him, but he really needs that Scotty, like you said.
The Lifestealer? He wants to be able to man-fight the TB. You can see that he's itemizing for that. The Scotty and the Basher are the items that might allow you to do it. The thing is, though, I'm looking at Nesphere and I'm thinking he is going to get a Butterfly at some point. Maybe the Lina is the one that's going to be dealing with that one, but it's hard to itemize against this TB. He gets a BKB and the Butterfly, and I'm not sure if you want to get an MKB on any of these heroes. You need a lot of items on both the Lifestealer and the Lina to be able to deal with the late game TB.
Not sure if Lifestealer was supposed to infest his way to the CK because he was casting it, but the CK already finished his teleport, so now he's just running back to his team. There was no hero to gank on, but I feel like they had some kind of playbook on their mind. So he's just going to go back to the Ancients and continue farming. Those are disastrous moments that can happen. Like, you're supposed to get, like, a taxi service, and the taxi goes, and you're staying there, and then the opponent just ganks you. And it's like staying at the jungle and a neutral item drops, and you have to go pick it up, and then the opponent shows up.
That's definitely a bad thing to happen to you. Always feels bad, hopefully.
Yeah.
Though, PuckChamp, it's not gonna be that big of an issue for them. They're going for a smoke, though, right into the arms
of an issue for X3. They're on the low ground. SMN turns around, and he will instantly get blown up. And now they're going right towards the Brewmaster, but Nadine Arwol will go in between, and then will take down Astral. Coil is there. Lifestealer about to drop. He's gonna go down. He's fallen completely. Young G, he just doesn't have the damage to take down this TP either. The Sunder's gonna be there onto Malik. 3 down, and that's gonna be completely disastrous for PuckChamp. They might have killed SMN, but you're losing everything. X3 team wiping PuckChamp. The previous Division 1 team, they bite the dust again as X3. They find themselves as victors of this fight, and that is absolutely massive for this TB lineup.
I was about to say PuckChamp might still be okay in this game if they if they continue playing like this and start getting more pickoffs, with that they survive the big Terrorblade timing between minute 30 and 35, and you're gonna be okay. But then they say, no, screw it, let's just walk up the hill as 5 heroes and get absolutely obliterated. With Terrorblade in a good position, there was absolutely no chance for them to do anything. You could see Jakiro attacking the smoke. He really didn't care that he was gonna die, and the second that the split goes off, the fight is just lost for PuckChamp, especially because they're on the low ground. So again, going for a play that your lineup just isn't that good at is gonna cost them. And Nesphere will get a good BKB timing. I'm expecting a butterfly at that point, and I just don't see that PuckChamp cores are gonna be ready with anything to deal with it. We can see that Lina is trying to get defensive items because he knows that he just cannot survive the Terrorblade damage. Even if he would have the MKB and the Terrorblade has the butterfly, the Terrorblade would eat him alive before you even get a few hits off.
PuckChamp in a lot of trouble. They might want to look to take another fight right after, as they're stacked up, playing their bait with the Lifestealer. Natty Narwhal goes in, and he's got them himself the Illusory Orb to get out of there. He will go back in, and no mercy given whatsoever. He will go for the trade. He gives his life away for this, but here comes the rest of the people. They've got the Brewlings chasing Malik, and Ducalis is going to be there. Astral on the high ground. And there we go, but Cyclone's there, but everybody else is so far away. Rat, he doesn't want to give that gem away. Rink, gonna get the stun onto the Ducalis. LSA, beautiful from Youngji onto 2. Alchemist down in just a second. As they finish off Sugarat, they take the gem for themselves. And finishing off this chase, they won't actually get this Alchemist kill at all, but they still got the Brew. That's the bigger one, because that gives them the gem.
Solid for PuckChamp. The side of X3 getting a little bit ahead of themselves. A bit of an unfortunate situation for the Puck. The silence and the stun connected pretty much at half a second difference, so he didn't have a chance to heal himself up. He was probably spamming out the phase shift, and then the second he noticed that he was actually silenced, he got stunned up. So a bit of an unfortunate scenario for them, but you can see even though PuckChamp got 2 kills there, it was X3 over diving a little bit, and it was shown that the Puck can solo kill the Lifestealer between 4 of his heroes. That puts PuckChamp in a very bad spot, because Lifestealer needs to be your frontliner, the one that tanks everything up, but it was just shown that he gets destroyed, and we can see what he's going to be going for, a BKB. He cannot even think about getting items to deal with the Terrorblade because he needs to survive, and this is something that I was afraid of for PuckChamp, is that they're just not going to be able to have the items to deal with the Terrorblade now at this point in the game, and around 35-minute mark when X3 get the next Strosh.
Well, they've got themselves 2 hero found here. Malik and Ducalis, they will use the Primal Split and onto the chase. There's a lot of backup coming up. The Lifestealer is coming in from the jungle, but they will get the catch onto the CK, and he's got nowhere to go. Even his courier gets killed as well. But hey, here goes Natty Narwhal, snipes the backline, finds Astral, takes down this Skyrath, and cliffs himself. He's happy with that. Coil as well onto the Lifestealer, but doesn't look like they have to catch up anymore. The slows are going to be there. Nesphere pops his Metamorph. He's ready to take this fight. Youngji will finish off Natty Narwhal. And they use Metamorph for a support kill. They killed the Treant Protector. They've got the mid-wave as well, pretty nearby to that tier 2 tower. So, I wonder if X3 wants to continue with the push. I mean, they did use Metamorph. They're going to move away.
They don't want to risk it without the Puck. He is their main playmaker. You could see he was making plays there, but Lina with the Invis is still strong enough to just destroy him from under to 0. You can see Puck now understands what he needs. Oh, Youngji.
Oh, they found Youngji as well with a blink stun. Alchemist, he stuns himself, but he found the Lina, and Lina inside, but the Infest Bomb, it will give enough healing, but still, Nesphere dishing out those right clicks, so PuckChamp, they cannot stay, but they get the Lina out. Malik in here for SMN, but he's going to get caught instead. Another Primal Split being used. Kraut is right there. Youngji next to him as well. Cyclone into the air, keeping him on the spot, but they don't have the damage anymore. Sugarat's still going here. And Youngji's just waiting for this Brewmaster to show himself, loading up with the stun, but it's not going to happen. Sugarat's going to be making his way out. The slow is on SMN. Ice Path will zone them. Keep them on the high ground. X3 will be able to get out. A lot of skirmishing here.
This was pretty cool from X3 because what they accomplished with these moves, despite not getting any kills and putting themselves in a pretty hard position at times, what they managed to do is wait for the puck to respawn. So if they would just stay back, it would allow for PuckChamp to smoke and actually place aggressive vision before the Roche does spawn and give themselves a vision advantage for the next fight. With these moves from X3, it was denied from them, and now sure, you don't have the meta, but you have the vision advantage to actually wait for it.
They're going to go back in again, and they've got Narink surrounded by 3 enemies, and there goes Natty Narwhal. There's the Ice Bath on 2, Macro Fire applied as well, but where's the damage follow-up? No Metamorph for 23 seconds, which means they really need. So PuckChamp, they'll be able to take down this Alchemist, keep themselves up and running. Disengaging quickly after that pickoff and forcing out 1 or 2 ultis on both sides, but no hard commit from either.
Natty Narwhal really needs that Aeon Disc, and this is a really good Aeon Disc game as well, because usually, you know, there are some spells that can maybe hit you, Stray, and so on. This Puck takes damage. If he takes damage, he probably dies. So, yep, beautifully done.
That's, yep, the E-Blade full combo forcing out Lina to use that BKB. That is now down to 6 seconds. That was the final 7-second charge on the Lina. Metamorphosis up. Daedalus is soon ready. Not too far off. Basically should have his courier already sending his stuff over. He's actually sending the recipe for him. Should start making his way towards the secret shop to pick it up, but where are they gonna take this route? He's calling his team. I need my Daedalus.
They can go directly.
You could go for the secret shop, but they're just crossing straight through. Narink will find Astral. Killing Skyrath would be a start. And it definitely will be one because the rest of the team nowhere to be seen. And that TB should just be heading straight towards the Roche pit. Yeah, he's sending the courier to the secret shop. Get that Daedalus up and running. And that's going to be Roche number 2.
This just shows the difference in strengths of these two lineups right now. Where PuckChamp, if they walk up the high ground, they all die. And X3, I think that even if PuckChamp was perfectly set up there, that X3, in the worst case scenario, they lose 1 hero and run away. That's the worst case scenario. In the best case scenario, they just crush everyone if PuckChamp decide to fight. So definite difference between these two teams. And now with this Aegis X3, you can see that they haven't taken down any tier 2s, but this is the Aegis with which you can actually go high ground. There is no reason to be afraid. Terrorblade, his pushing power is insane. He didn't go for the butterfly. It feels like he doesn't need defensive items. He just wants to crush everything. And with the Demon Zeal, does he have the Berserker's Potion working with him? Nope. And Rink just a little bit behind with that one, but it's gonna be delivered now. This TB will be a beast.
Full-on teleports back to home as they realize they need to hold these racks up. But Nesphere, there we go with the Demon Zeal. And the Rink loading up the stun. Only going to be throwing it into more illusions. Ice Path will connect onto the Lina. Malik looking for the stun onto the low ground. Nesphere will use the Manta to dodge it. Glyph will be used as well. Sugarat dropping pretty low on some of those Brewlings. Has to reset, and he will go for another split right away, and they can just siege with this so easily. These melee racks are taking heavy amounts of damage. Dakalis on the side. Blink Dagger is ready. Overgrowth is ready. Melee racks down, and the Brewlings on the run. Malik going for the Realty Rift. Will be able to push the TV onto the high ground. The stuns are not going to be connecting. He's still got that Sunder available. Where's the target for it? Krillak going for the patches, and the stuns are going to be there. He finally gets it off. The BKB on the Lifestealer wasn't in time, but they're still going to be taking out a TV. They're going to be losing Henrik as well. They'd already finished off 2, and no Metamorph available on the TP. Nesphere needs to get the heck out of there, as they've got Natty Normal buying some time with the coil, keeping them back, but they will be definitely losing some heroes. SMN for 1, maybe Sugarat as well. Malik goes down to Natty Narwhal. This Puck is doing a heck of a load of damage, and he's just trying to get himself hiding in these trees, maybe get around there, but those silences are working against him, and he will give his life away. They got the TP out, nevertheless, and Sugarat, is he just full committing to this? Pretty much looked like he would, but he is going to be getting out with one of his Brewlings. That being said, top racks are almost completely obliterated, and it ends up being 4 heroes going down, 3 plus the Aegis for the CK kill.
it showed in that fight how hard it is to fight against the Lifestealer with the BKB. He was just magic immune for a very long time, and the Terrorblade dying there once, those 5 seconds, there was no one that can actually attack the Lifestealer, even though the Sunder was there. So it just goes to show that this BKB Lifestealer is a big deal, and Krillat actually did everything perfectly. He tanked all the damage for his team. Well,
he's got his team behind him though, but he's just having no fear right now. Nice rage. Will be able to dodge the ice path that was about to connect. And Young G bringing up the firepower on this Lina. But that was one thing on the high ground. There was like a full second between the rage and the BKB used by the Lifestealer, so TB was able to Sunder in between. They got the Sunder, and then the BKB came off on the Lifestealer. So it could have been a much faster fight for PuckChamp if they were able to get that TB right away at the start and not having to worry about his so-called second life during the first, before the Aegis popped.
Okay, but PuckChamp are not done. They don't want to stop.
Not done.
This
is a very good move as well, that they're staying in the area, not giving up. Alchemist down, Jakiro falls, and Young G, he's ready to lead in with Krillat right onto the high ground, and this will be a definite lane of racks unless this Jakiro buys back, but it's going down too fast. They don't have time to defend this at all, and PuckChamp, they fight and they bite back.
Very nicely done by PuckChamp. Sure, that fight on the high ground, you know, more often than not in this timing, when you want to hit it so hard with a team like X3, there is a chance that the enemies turn it around on the high ground. But it was actually PuckChamp with all of their movements and aggressive positioning right now that they secured themselves their axes. You know, supports of X3 just they wanted to go for a smoke. They wanted to turn things around as soon as PuckChamp started going back. But PuckChamp really did that quite nicely. They pushed out the wave, started going back with some heroes while Malik was hunting, and then they stormed down those two supports, allowing them to get their access. So overall, a very nice response from them, and now it's time for X3 to get themselves out of the base and actually secure some vision for themselves and clean out their part of the map. They still have the gem, so that's a good thing going for them.
Malik is ready to go in at any given moment here, and Natty Narwhal dives in deep, gets silence right away, does have himself the Stormcrafter to break the silence. Hey, he really needs that Stormcrafter to be able to break the Skywrath silence from Astral. Aeon Disc pops on the Brewmaster thanks to the Mystic Flare. Narink looking for the Treant Protector. Refraction onto 2 on the high ground. LSA stun, and now Lina going straight to TB, and he's down a spear. He was not given a chance to live. Terrorblade down might spell the end for X3, even because PuckChamp ain't stopping. They're gonna go for more. They've got the Brewlings here. They've got them controlled. Lina disconnecting. They will let the Jakiro slide through as Astral and Krillat will have to let him go. They will get the Brewmaster kill, so unless, yeah, there shouldn't be any other Brewling anywhere else, so that should be Sugarat dead as well. They just blew up that TB so fast, Harry.
Yep, TB gets a pause there to sit and think about his actions. Running up the high ground, like 7 minutes ago, remember when X3, they could just run up the hill and everything would be fine. Well, it has been a few minutes since then, and PuckChamp have gotten their items that are key to bursting down the Terrorblade. This is why I was thinking that the Butterfly might be a better choice than the Daedalus. It doesn't give you as much damage, but it definitely gives you survivability against heroes that don't want to be building into a MKB. So that's why I wanted that to be the item for TB, and here he just gets obliterated. I don't think he was thinking, I can't die with 40 armor and 3.5k HP. Well, yeah, you can. Lina does so much damage, and this CK with the Aghanim Shard Chaos Bolt, 7-second cooldown. I think that is the thing that is catching X3 off guard over and over again. You might have a Scotty, you might have a Manta, you might have a BKB, but you need to use them when that stun is flying towards you, and every 7 seconds, well, your items, they have a much higher cooldown than that. So very nicely done by PuckChamp again, and they're probably gonna be forcing the issue once more. They don't know that Terrorblade doesn't have buyback necessarily, so that's why Sugarat, he's trying to make something happen, but it's again gonna end up in this. Okay, all right. Nice refresher.
Yeah, good refresher. Might actually let him live here because it refreshes the Aeon Disc, and that removes the stuns, enables him to get himself on the run once again. And he's got himself that Storm Ruling. Even the the Earth one is able to get out. But PuckChamp, they recognize, well, might as well just go straight up down the mid lane. We've got ourselves a catapult and a couple Jimmies with us. 50 seconds, no terribly. 50 seconds. Straight towards the bot lane. That's going to be a second lane.
They did a good job on X3 pushing out the side lanes, but they couldn't bring down the creeps in the mid. And now this is an easy axe. Look at what the Lina just does to them. She rips them apart in a few seconds.
Yeah, she runs out of stacks though. There's the downside of the Lina. She needs creeps or heroes to hit to keep that attack speed up and running. Since there is none around, we'll get the bottom racks completed and then move away for a second. So 2 lanes of racks down. And still only a 2,000 gold lead for PuckChamp. We have
overconfidence from X3, especially from the Terrorblade Nesphere. You can see that he's going for a butterfly now, and this is very rarely you see teams just completely lose the game at a time where they should just end it, right? Usually they miss that timing where they should end it. They don't force the issue quite fast enough, and because of it they lose the game because they give a chance to their opponents. But X3, they went at the perfect timing. They just got destroyed in a team fight, and you know, I can't really blame like Nesphere. If you bought a butterfly, it probably would have been different, but at that point,
battle for the DD rune. This is going to be big. Young
one.
G doesn't get it though from Nesphere. That would have been disastrous for X3 if Lina actually got that DD rune for themselves, but they don't fight for it. That was very close.
You just reset. There's no reason for the side of PuckChamp to fight right now. The DD on the Terrorblade would probably rip you all apart. So he also has the Daedalus, so you just reset.
Yeah, eliminate any unnecessary threats. So just avoid the fight. Most importantly, they did get the info on that DD rune. Otherwise, if they didn't, they had no ward whatsoever in that area. That would have been X3's smoke actually paying off for them with that DD on the Terrorblade. Roche, give me a timer. I'm gonna say 120.
130.
120, 130. It's 59. Okay, so less than a minute spawn Roshan. Number 3 of the game.
You can see how much emphasis X3 are giving for this Roche. This is the place where the game could be decided. The buybacks are gonna be a big deal as well. I would like the Puck to farm his. Natty Narwhal, we can see he has the Revenant's Brooch. He might actually be able to kill the Lifestealer from start to finish. No, the Lifestealer does have the he does have the BKB, so he should be fine.
5 seconds and counting. Smoke up on PuckChamp. They're coming in for a bit of a wraparound with 4. The infested CK. Brewmaster holding on a prime position. Who sees who first? Oh, they see the Alchemist. They see Shurkarat. Might be the start of the fight. Molly goes in for the blink stun, and Alchemist is gone. Brewmaster and this will pop. Gets the ulti off. Muddle Spliff's going to be there. Kryllat will be able to get the rage off in time. Still has his BKB, and they're just right-clicking down Shurkarat and just ruling, so they can't get there in time. Right-click damage not going to be sufficient for now. Nesphere finally can they collapse on top of this guy. He's got the BKB. Not be able to get that because he's just stunned from 100 to 0. Lifestealer down. Jakal is about to drop it. Young G, Malik looking for the stuns, wanting to take on the TP. The force staff's going to be there. Going to be able to push him back away. Buyback coming in. Sunder onto his ally, but again going to get stunned again by Malik, and now the TP's down, and that should be it. That should be it for PuckChamp. They take down 2 big targets, and Brewmaster once again for another split, and they're slowly TPing back into that tier 2 tower to get themselves in the fight once again. But PuckChamp, there's heroes everywhere. They've got this entire area under their control. Natty Narwhal inside the Roche pit, trying to hunt down the Skywrath mage, but he's too far for him to catch. And now TV on the other side, finally able to get in. Stun does actually get, actually lands on top of the Alchemist himself. That being said, CK buys back, Skywrath buys back. This is an all-in. This is all-out war. This is total war right now. Both teams back to full strength except for the Alchemist missing. 5 versus 4. No Metamorph available. They're going to have to live with the Demon Zeal, baby.
both teams emphasized keeping buyback so much, but what actually won the fight there for PuckChamp is that they were controlling the outpost. They were the ones having control of that one, and because of it, X3 lost that fight. Krillhat, if he wasn't able to go back into that fight, it would have been over. Terrorblade would have ran everyone down, and PuckChamp could only buy back to defend the Roche, but not buy back to actually win that fight. And now it's time to just go towards the top lane. You don't have to hurry, you don't have to do anything. X3 don't have buybacks, and you have the Aegis, you have the cheese. And what did they get? Was it the Ags or the refresher? The refresher on the Treant. So this Terrorblade, he might have a lot of things to get out of the Treant ulti, but you're gonna have to use some of them before the fight starts. So at least one of them will keep Nesphere in check. PuckChamp, finally, they're now in a really dominant position. All of those things, they were them just reading the map well, but now in terms of position in the game, who is stronger between the two teams is definitely PuckChamp.
X3 is holding on to a thread here in this game too, and it is starting to look like PuckChamp is looking for the equalizer. 78% as well. These graphs have been going in their way. The laning stage started off well. X3 caught up with the momentum, but it does look like PuckChamp is going to be the one to finish it in the end. We'll see. There's still fight left in X3. We've seen how well they deal damage, but buybacks are really low at the moment. The Ring goes for the stun. Lina BKB used, and the Ring's going to be down. Alchemist down. 5 versus 4. Plus the Aegis. Foil will be landing as well. Shurkerat's going to be there. They're going to be taking down the Kalas. He gets out both of those roots, but Nesphere able to purge both of them off with first the BKB and the Satanic, keeping the TB on the move. Now Astral getting controlled by Shurkerat and looking to take down Astral. Astral will fall, die back on 2. That's only 3 heroes remaining. They will take down Natty Narwhal though, and now Shurkerat needs to get out of there. SMN and Nesphere, they've still got halfway down with that Metamorph. Just will connect.
You have to go now.
This is
He
kind of
doesn't
a
have a refresher.
You need to get the better fight out of this, and Shurkerat, there's the rage, will be used. Krillhat has a couple seconds of immunity for himself. Right clicks coming out from Nesphere, slows from SMN. Shurkerat still trying to work his way around, wants to get Malik, needs to get the CK. The CK is the big bad wolf, and he's fully healed once again. Back to max HP. Young G on the low ground, dishing out right clicks constantly. Another ice path connecting onto 2, and Malik getting pummeled by Shurkerat, but this Brewmaster needs to make it work. He needs to keep these Brewlings alive as well. Trying to juke around a bit. There's only 1 remaining. 3 seconds to go. And he's got his Primal Split once again. No, he actually doesn't even have it right now. And he's in trouble. He's going to be pushed back into the fight. Malik will finally get him down. And he's going to buy back as well. So that's the 1 hero with the buyback remaining. Lifestealer going to get stunned up by Naring. Shurkerat is there. What does this TB get to do?
From the
TB
side.
coming in from the back, actually sniping Malik, but has he got the damage? Does he have enough to take the CK down? BKB, Young G just burning through this TB. That's
being destroyed.
Gonna get sundered right away. Shurkerat, he's on the side, can't get much done. They cannot slow down. PuckChamp will be taking down the Mega Creeps. They finished off all the barracks in the base, and there's not much to do anymore except for the tier 4s. Another stun, Ice Path with the bottle connecting right on top of this Lifestealer, but Krillhat, he's not taking any damage here. This Lifestealer, he feels immortal at this moment. 1.5 minutes of that Aegis remaining too, and X3, they are in huge trouble now.
The timing of X3 was gone 10 minutes ago after those 2 Raxes were taken, and mostly after that fight for the Roche was lost with multiple buybacks. How one thing not taking the outpost can make a mistake in a game. Also going for an offensive item on the Terrorblade, thinking they can destroy everyone, but just wasn't the case. And now X3 in a position fighting against Mega Creeps. You know, it's not like they're unable to, but now PuckChamp can just find a good angle at some point and end the game. It's almost impossible for X3 to get out of the base. They're just gonna be waiting for the enemies to come. But I have to say some praises for SMN. Perfect positioning in those fights. Just so many ice paths. He is the one that is keeping X3 alive in these fights, and Ring just jumps in like a madman. And then the one that is always bailing everyone out is SMN. Just amazing plays for him.
This might be the last smoke of the game as well. TB is the only one showing, and they're looking for any one that they can start things off with to buy some more time. Ducalis is in the lane. There we go with the coil. They've got the Treant Protector, but the Alchemist will stun himself. They will still kill the Treant nevertheless, as that's one pick-off going their way. 90 seconds without the overgrowth. PuckChamp is still playing on the enemy side of the map. As Shurgarat, double ultis, refreshers available. Not gonna get the jump.
And Rink is thinking about going for a hex. I think he should buy an axe for the Terrorblade. Terrorblade has a swift blink. You blink in, you use the fear, and the coil comes out. That's a
the coil
25
fear.
coil.
True.
I think that is the play. You need more team fight.
Oh, they
You
caught
need
Young
to
G.
utilize-
Caught on the edge of that ice path, but the BKB comes out. They're chasing now. How far
Still
do they
fast.
go? It's a 5v4 scenario. They're going all the way. Can he get
see
the
him?
Cyclone off? Yes, he did. He's got the Cyclone. They're all coming in. They're looking for this kill because there's no BKB remaining on Lina, and there's nowhere to go. So that's going to be a pick-off for X3 as Young G is taken down. And Malik is coming up the side. Krell's going to be there as well, trying to take down SMN, but it's going to get saved for a moment. And they're getting the Berserk Potion out there, but SMN still dead. Nevertheless, and Nesfir just popped this Metamorph, and they've got the Lifestealer inside the call. BKB will be used as well. BKB uses the Nesfir as well. CK on the side. Malik is the one that they need to fear. Going for the Phantasm as well to help them out for a little bit longer. Astral does go down. Malik inside the Pro Spin. There's nowhere to go. He can't even get out of there. He will use the Spider Legs to finally get himself on the move, and he will cliff himself on the ward spot. And X3, they have to go back to base. They need to defend the Ancient because their towers have just fallen to Mega Creeps.
One more play like this, PuckChamp, they pull X3 out to their base one more time, and the game is over. So X3, that was the timing for them to make something happen, but they needed to pull out, I think, after the Lina kill, and be happy with that. With the tier 4s down, they have no place to make any more moves. They're gonna have a glyph in a minute and 15 seconds, so it does allow you to do something. But is there any big items coming out? And Rink, I still want to see that Ags bot for the Terrorblade. We can see that Nesfir wants the rapier, so he understands that they're in a pretty bad spot. So going for Hail Mary players is definitely the way to go for X3. I haven't seen a Mega Creeps comeback, I think, in a few years, unless it was like they get Megas and they die, and then the other team just runs down mid. Like when the Mega Creeps kick in, I haven't seen a comeback for forever.
53 minutes into this game. This has been you could say a bit of a marathon for X3, as they had a short moment in this game where they would have the advantage, and then taken and stripped away by PuckChamp as their lineup started to kick in, especially this Lina. Young G, 11, 3, and 10. Out of the 29 kills, she's been a part of almost every single one of them. A crucial piece of the puzzle for PuckChamp in this game.
Yeah, the problem is that now the Terrorblade doesn't win a man fight against the Lina. That speaks volumes.
That kind of hurts, yeah.
Yeah, it is. That is the biggest issue, especially if the Lifestealer is hitting onto the TB, you know. So you get a few bashes, and suddenly the Terrorblade does nothing in a fight. So X3 approaching fights is gonna be very, very tough. He has the Rapier now, so maybe that changes things. If he jumps onto the Lina and there's a Dust there or a Sentry to keep her in place, there is a chance that that Nesfir can rip him apart. But without boots, man, would he like a movement speed item? Is there anything from the neutrals? Not really.
Well, there's a Roshan now with the Aghanims, and PuckChamp would love to take it because it's theirs for the taking. And X3 will just have to let this one slide once again. And Aghanims, Cheese, Refresher, Ags.
One big thing is that the CK has his Aghanims as well. So any initiation from X3, any kind of attempt from the Puck to, let's say, kill the supports can instantly be stopped by the CK just using the Phantasm and saving them. So that's also one thing. X3 would love to go into the backlines and deal with the Skywrath Mage and the Treant Protect. Provides so much lockdown, and the Aghanim Skywrath Mage provides so much damage, so you don't want that to happen. Plus, a billion illusions going your way. X3 not the easiest way to deal with illusions when you have Mega Creeps as well to deal with inside of your base.
Now they also have the Eyes of the Forest. Treant Protector is able to apply that extra vision and the extra roots right outside of X3's base. Slowly turning into an old school techies game in a way. Wherever you go, there might be a trap looming around. Even this hollow forest on the side of the dire map is turning against them.
Everything is turning. I mean, if I were trees that no one took care of me, you know, I have no leaves, I'd go against them as well. But mid lane fight.
Actually warded inside the base, but SMN already killed off. Rank looking for the stun onto Malik. But the BKB will be used on the CK, so he's able to keep himself up and running. They will get the D ward inside though. They just don't see the eyes of the forest. Alice on the low ground, another stun thrown out. Primal Split had just ran its course on the Brewmaster, has another one, plus the Refresher. So that's going to be at least 3 Primal Splits to go. Young G looking for any vision on the high ground. No, nothing on the edges.
Regret, is he finally gonna notice the eyes in the forest? He should be able
the rapier.
to.
The rapier's on the sphere now. He's going for a second rapier. Maybe just a backup, but at least the extra damage pump is needed for this guy. And this Metamorph will play a big role. He needs to get magic immunity out and be able to right-click at the same time. Aggressive blink as well with the swift blink onwards, but can't find anyone there. Clearing
if you're
PuckChamp,
you're just waiting for the creeps. You're just waiting for the creeps to give you enough vision, and then Malik will be jumping in. That is the play. When you look at what X3 are seeing, they're blind inside of their base. They don't know nothing, and
here we go.
like
And the rain comes for the blend. There we go. They're gonna find the initiation onto the brew, but instantly pops the A on disc, and that's gonna be split number 1 coming out. I think that just came off cooldown as well, so the brew. No, that's actually his second one, so he didn't actually get it off cooldown yet. He needs another half a minute. Still has the Refresher. That was the BKB used by the CK plus the Infest Bomb. Here we go, the CK illusions now being sent into the base. Another Ice Path onto the Lifestealer. Right, looking for the stun. Big bunch of illusions right there. All slowly getting chipped down, but it's just for vision. It's just for vision. Lifestealer finally getting in front of the Ancient. Ancient starting to take damage, and a lot as well because they forced out the glyph. And here comes Shurgarat. They got the coil coming from Natty Normal. Here comes Nesfear, dealing out the damage and needs to reposition right away as well. He's got the BKB available. They will be losing the first one. It's going to be the Puck going down. They will be taking down the ZK at least. And Young G turning around. The TP taking too much damage. Nesfear down, and he's completely gone. He's got nothing remaining. No more Metamorph. No more nothing. X3 in huge trouble. Rapier on the ground as well. Won't be able to get that, but the Ice Pad's going to be there. Nesfear right-clicking away in melee form, but the TP's going to go down, and that should be it. Your carry's gone. Your Ancient's about to fall. Kurl will be chasing down the rest of Jakiro will be going down next, and another Aghanim ulti there coming out to bring more illusions into the base as the Ancient falls, and PuckChamp finally ties out this series, making it a 1-1.
You know, I got some range creep vibes from a late game Terrorblade. That just goes to show how powerful the Lina and the Lifestealer were. They ripped them apart in half a second. You have 4,000 HP, you have 40 armor, you're in a perfect position, and you instantly die. That speaks volumes to the strength of PuckChamp at this point, and this is why you don't want to go to the ultra late game ever. You know, there are these late game heroes like the Terrorblade, Spectre, and stuff like that, but they used to be ultra late game heroes before before all of the things were added in Dota, breaks, all of these shards, everything that can actually change how the heroes scale. And that's why PuckChamp, you know, Lifestealer and the Lina 5 years ago, when you would see them against the Terrorblade late game, they can just leave the game, but not anymore. They just rip them apart, they itemize correctly, and Nesfear, he just couldn't move and do anything. So PuckChamp, as you mentioned, they got the victory, and yeah, Panda, we're going to game 3.
Yeah, game 3 is exactly going to be the case in this one. PuckChamp found the clutch that they were looking for, because game 1 was totally out of their hands, and you could see that they didn't have the you could almost say the willpower, because their draft didn't allow them to play that way. So in coming into game 2, very good laning stage for them. X3 getting a bit of a power spike from a couple, well, maybe mispositioned places where Krylat's Lifestealer wasn't supposed to be at, you know, hitting a tier 1 tower all by himself when there's 4 enemies nearby, getting caught, getting killed, and kind of letting this TB to bounce back in when he already had a lane that PuckChamp somewhat dominated in the end, not at the lane, but right after it, and then kind of let him back in. But was a moment where, okay, is PuckChamp really ready for the challenge? Because we were a bit doubtful, but they understood what is their win condition, how to make them work out with the CK, the Infest Bombs through the Chaos Bolt stuns, and of course Astral and Malik working together to get those stuns into Mystic Flare combos, looking for a pick-off and help their game way there. And just a fantastic Lina game. Young G, man, this guy did a lot of heavyweight lifting in this game. 45,000 damage, 16k building damage on this Lina. Just an absolute monster.
Yeah, for sure. He was in a good position always to fight. You know, it means that he wasn't making too many aggressive plays, but he was definitely not being caught by the enemies in any unfortunate positions. Though I would like to highlight PuckChamp still, that high ground defense. Not only that one, but their moves after it and how they secured the map for themselves in 2 lanes of racks. I think that is the sequence of moves that won them the game. And still, they're showing some signs of that tier 1 potential that this team had just a year ago. So I'm hoping we're finally gonna see them awaken and see their full power in Game 3 or maybe some of the series to come.
Well, we'll see, but at least the Game 3 is definitely going to be a certainty, so we'll be back after the break and return for the final, the closer of the series between X3 and PuckChamp. So don't disappear anywhere. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes and see you then.